Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for a general physical preparedness workout. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like and drop me a comment down below, I'd appreciate it so much. All right, let's get over into the conversation. I'm not going to talk a lot about what we're doing here. I may just let you guys watch the footage, talk for the first couple minutes. I did 3 rounds of weighted carries. Lighting not particularly great here. Kind of sucks when it gets a little overcast, but I also wanted to do this earlier in the day rather than waiting. It's would actually look better for filming if I waited till later, but because it's still kind of overcast. But hey, went ahead and did it just to get it out of the way. But again, the weighted carries, pretty happy with them. They felt good, and want to make sure that I double down on grip and form, because I feel like for me, my grip is starting to limit the deadlifts a little bit, and I want my deadlifts to continue to, improve, and I like the high frequency deadlifting. So I feel like the weighted carries of farmer's walks do a lot for this in terms of just helping me develop that grip strength, help with core and everything else. So I did that. I did 1 round of sleds. I don't necessarily like the sled when it's been wet outside, because again, we had a tornado yesterday. Power was out a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then it went out again for a little while they fixed it. Everything good there now. So I only did 1 round of those, but I stacked the heaviest weight. I know I've done 4 plates a couple times. I went in and put 5 plates on there. I don't know if I've ever done 5 plates before on this sled out here on the street. I may have. If I have, it's only been once. I don't think that I have, though, to be fair. So this may be a PR weight for me. But if not, if it's not a PR, then I may have matched it one time in the past. So I didn't sprint with it today, though. I just did one hard push, and it was fairly difficult out there. But again, I also did that machine work yesterday for quad, so I don't necessarily need to do huge amounts of it. I like to just get some in. So I did that. Then I did my 5 sets of Medball throws, and I did those out on the driveway until it gets dry again out here. I just don't want to be walking out in the mud. I don't want to be dropping the Medball necessarily out in the mud. So once it dries up a little bit, and it's been a fairly dry year this year. Recently up until these last couple of storms and rainstorms, it's actually been fairly dry. So most days, it's really good out there for doing that, right? Really good. But for now, doing it on the driveway, but I'm also not wanting to wear my med ball out, so I'm trying to throw it to where it lands on some of my EVA foam pads. I have all these pads because I bought a bunch of them for things like box squatting and for cushioning and other stuff. And I got a pretty big stack of them. I got them all stuffed up in the attic for now, just up in storage up there. But I did grab a couple of them down the other day to do some of this stuff, so I could also set them down there on the sidewalk for the weighted carries. But yeah, did all that. Happy with the way that went. The sled was fairly hard. The med ball throws, again, good. I did just 5 sets of 5. Then I did 1 set of hanging leg raises, and then I finished up with 1 set of hammer curls. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to avoid overtraining my arms and trying to focus just on lower volume, very, very, very high quality, high tension sets, which you guys saw, yesterday. We're PRing on the chins. But I'm wanting to avoid any of the really high volume stuff because it hasn't worked well for me. My arms have been biggest always when I just focused on a very small amount of isolation with mechanical tension, right? Just getting really strong at it and then really putting my effort into the big movements. And I think we've seen that historically here, but I also need my shoulders to come up. So I'm definitely giving dealt some attention with the laterals and stuff. But again, I wanted to just kind of finish up with that. My thoughts were, I want the forearm gain. So it's like I didn't do a true bicep curl. I did hammer curls, which are a little more forearm for me. So again, 1 set to failure. Now, looking at even at the rep range, I got like 11 reps, and I'm not sure if I failed on it, roughly 11. But I reached failure on it, and that's good enough. 1 hard set, right? Works perfectly well for me. So in short, 3 rounds of farmer's walks. I did 1 hard push with the sled, 5 sets of med ball throws, did a set of hanging leg raises, again, good for my grip, good for my abs. And then I finish up with 1 set of hammer curls, and tomorrow will be a normal full body workout, squat, bench, and deadlift. I might try to mess with some Zerchers though for the squatting while I just let my shoulders do their thing and recover and heal. But overall, pretty happy with this. It's just a GPP workout. It's just my conditioning and secondary work. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.